welcome in Huntsville. Another wonderful good morning to you. Thanks for waking up with us.
What do you love about Huntsville? What makes this a great place to be?
Everyone here is very genuine and very kind and friendly. You never hesitate to speak up and say hello or good morning or just acknowledge the person walking by.
The thing that I love most about Huntsville, I love the peace that Huntsville brings. I love the peace that it gives me.
I feel accepted and part of the town and like I belong here.
Huntsville is where my lovely wife lived when I met her, so I moved here. So I'm pretty thankful for her.
All right.
We're bucking for you in Huntsville, Texas. Hello, I'm Billy Coppin, the Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home.
Hey, it's Kay Boating with Tomorrow's Post Montessori Schools.
Good morning, Huntsville.
Good morning.
Hey, I'm Karen.
I'm Toy.
And I'm Denise. And from all of us at Walker County Federal Credit Union, good morning, Huntsville.
Hi, I'm Jason Bay, pastor here at First Baptist Church in Huntsville. Easter isn't about us. It's all about Jesus, about the love He poured out, the price He paid, and the hope He offers through His resurrection. In a world that can seem heavy and uncertain, Easter reminds us that light overcomes darkness, and that life conquers death. That's why we say First Baptist is a harbor of hope in Huntsville, a place where people from all walks of life can come and find peace, truth, and a fresh start in Him. I want to personally invite you and your family to celebrate Easter with us this year, whether you've been coming for years or you haven't been to church in a while or ever, you are welcome here. Our Easter service begins at 10:45 on Sunday, April 20th. It's going to be a time of worship, reflection, and joy as we celebrate the resurrection and the new life Jesus offers to each of us. And the celebration doesn't end there. After the service, we're heading down to Rather Park for a huge egg hunt for the kids, a delicious lunch, and family fun. Bounce houses, a petting zoo, and so much more. Come experience the hope, the joy, and the reason we celebrate. We'll see you Easter Sunday here at First Baptist Church.
Loving Jesus, loving people, side by side. In this harbor of hope, we are safe inside.
Hey, how you doing, Huntsville? We're adjusting volume this morning. You ever been called a volume adjuster before?
I don't think so.
The old volume adjuster.
But, I've probably been called a lot of things I didn't know about.
Hey, turn it up some.
Turn it up.
Welcome in.
Hey, I haven't had to tell you to turn it up, so go ahead and turn it up.
Yeah, I'm doing some an attitude adjustment.
Yeah.
Oh, it works every time. Welcome in.
Changes in latitudes, changes in attitudes, man.
Check it out. Bam. Oh, look at this. Boy. Couple of things going on here this morning.
We're not where we normally is.
We have the green screen going again this morning, and we've brought back our table, which Billy is so thankful for.
Oh, God, I missed the table. Y'all have no idea how bad I missed the table.
Billy came in this morning with, I'll just be honest, kind of a pretty negative attitude. You know, normally on the show he comes in, he's energetic, he's happy. Came in a little bit down this morning because, 7:50, and then sat down and all of a sudden noticed this, and then before long, I just noticed pure absolute joy.
It was a true pick-me-up, absolutely.
Absolute joy. Good to see you, brother. Good to see you, brother.
I miss our old table in the studio, so yeah.
Hey, what kind of watch is that?
Oh, this is a pretty special watch right here. This is from them Amazonians.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Have you had that long?
No, I've had it 2 days.
You like it?
No.
You don't like it?
No, I don't like it.
Why not?
I've already ordered a replacement.
It doesn't work or what?
It's just very cheapy.
Oh, but it's cool though. Yeah. Would this one set you back if you don't mind me asking?
It was like $50.
Really? These things are down to that price
Yeah, and
now?
it's supposed to have like a 10-day battery life. And
how long does battery do you have on it?
Well, I took it out of the box and I put it on the charger for about 5 minutes. And that was 2 days ago, and I still have 50% battery life.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I guess so.
Wow.
But
well, what don't you like about it then? Just the weight
well,
of it?
like when I'm looking at something on my phone and the video has sound, it comes through the watch instead of the phone.
Well, that's just user error.
Yeah, and I had an iWatch or whatever, an Apple Watch. Is it an Apple or an iWatch?
I don't know. It's something.
It's something. It's overpriced something.
Yeah.
And I don't remember. That one was very easy to operate, and I don't know. This one you got to scan a barcode and download an app, and yeah, it's just.
So what happened to now I'm going to say it, the iWatch, the Apple Watch? What happened to it? Just
I went back to wearing my old watch that I've had forever, and I let my daughter have the Apple iWatch. But my good watch, the one that I wear every day, it's been losing time. So, okay, I take it yesterday. I'm like, there's a jeweler in town that's worked on it before, and, they've done stuff and really been very accommodating. So I took it in there yesterday, and the guy goes, well, we're going to have to send it off. It's going to take 5 to 7 weeks. So, okay, well, maybe I could wear this old junky thing. He says, depending on what's wrong with it, it averages between $500 and $700.
Was a nice watch, though. I mean,
I guess it's a nice watch. It looked real good on the dresser at my house. I mean, because I can't do that.
Yeah,
I can't pay that.
So did you just take it back and be like, well, just leave it on the dresser?
It's sitting in the console of my car now. I love that watch. It's a good heavy watch. It wears well. It's been through everything that I've been through.
It's been through turmoil.
Yeah, pretty much. But it loses, and you're thinking, well, Billy, hush, man, it loses a couple minutes a day. That's no big deal.
That adds up.
Except when you're in an industry like me where everything is timed, and it's got to start on time and it's got to end on time, and I have to know exactly what time it is to do the next step. And when that watch is 4 or 5 minutes behind, it throws the whole operation off. So,
and those minutes add up. Because I have a cuckoo clock, and you have to. Cuckoo sounds funny saying that.
Cuckoo?
I have a cuckoo clock, but
any clock I own's a cuckoo clock.
Well, I mean, I'm a cuckoo clock, or automatically by trade. But,
exactly.
But no, the thing was growing up in my grandmother's house, and many of you watching, we want to welcome you. Welcome in episode number 493.
Yeah, it wouldn't be 500. It wouldn't be on Friday.
Not 500 yet. I was telling Derek Birdsall is going to join us here shortly, and I was telling him this morning, once we get to 500, we're going to have to change some things, just change it up a bit.
The table's coming back.
Balloon drop, I don't know, something.
Oh, there's always wanted one of those.
We're going to have one on episode 500.
Belinda was talking, I'm not going to be there.
No, you can flip and come that day. You can show up that day anyways, man.
Miss Belinda at my office said to make my day one day, we're going to do a balloon and confetti drop at once, since I've never been in one of those.
Well, you better show up that Tuesday. Hey, it kind of works out in a way because there's somebody's calling me. There's somebody on Tuesday that we know very well that may have a crossover too with you guys.
Yeah.
Just saying. We do want to welcome you out. Welcome in. We appreciate you very much as we get rolling here. Hey, change of venue. We are at the Sam Houston Memorial Museum and Republic of Texas Presidential Library this morning, right off Sam Houston. We're going to have a special show today and some exciting events happening here in our community. Big thank you to Elliot Herzlich from Elliot's Jewelers. He's online at elliotsjewelers.com. For all of your jewelry needs, visit my good friend Elliot Herzlich. Again, elliotsjewelers.com. And, of course, we could not be here without there's nobody else, there's no other Billy Cawthon anywhere remotely close to this area that I know of. Billy Cawthon from Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home.
And I got to tell, I mean, Derek probably knows this, but I work for Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, and this is the Sam Houston Memorial Museum. So anytime I hear someone talking about either one of the two, they could be talking about the museum. They'd be like, well, Sam Houston Memorial. I'm like, oh, what are they finna say now?
What if you had somebody that went to Samuel Walker Houston Elementary School who also visited the Sam Houston Memorial Museum and then decided to have his service at the Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home?
Sounds like I'd have to mail old Sam a check.
Yeah, sounds. Is he getting any? We got to ask. Are they getting any royalties? I mean, is there any kind of royalty deal coming on? Name, image, and likeness, right? Like college sports.
Absolutely not.
You know, poor guy is getting all this recognition, and
no, I tell you, who's getting all that? That's the light company, the property taxes, the water.
Well, hey, let us know you're out there as we roll. Hey, by the way, happy Good Friday. Easter right around the corner, and we're so thankful for all of you for being a part of this program. And I just want to encourage people, find a place to go on Sunday, get plugged in somewhere at a local church, and just celebrate what Easter is all about. But we're thankful for today, Good Friday. It's going to be a Good Friday for us because a little bit later this evening, we're going to head to Georgetown. It's going to be a quick trip. We're going to go to Georgetown, and then Saturday we're going to have Easter with family, and then we're coming back Saturday night. So it's going to be boom, boom. And I've got to take the dogs with me too. Mac is still in recovery mode right now, and I just don't want to leave him anywhere. Sometimes we take him over to Magnolia Kennel. I know Steph would take good care of him, but he's also got a little stomach thing going on with the medicine right now, and so it's going to be a fun one of those. Can I say this? Because we're always so uplifting and upbeat on this show. It's one of those, I don't want to say I'm dreading it, but it's going to be very, what's the word? Not complicated, but, it's going to be, what's the word I'm looking for? Tough. What's another word for tough? It's
difficult.
It's going to be a difficult trip, not in a bad way. I definitely want to go home and see our family.
You got a lot of components and moving pieces.
That's it. Yeah. There's a lot of moving things that are happening.
Well, as anyone who has kids knows, it's tough enough to get the little ones in and buckled and situated and half-ass happy for 30 seconds, where you could get on the road, and now you got the animals on top of it, and just the worry and concern, and then having to get there on time and leave on time. And
then when it's these quick trips, do you really get to relax?
Of course not. You're the dad. You're the dad.
Somebody had told me the other day at church, they said, Rob, we don't mean this rudely, but you need to disappear for a week or two. He was genuinely concerned about my health and told me that I just needed to disappear.
Oh, boy, I'd love to disappear for a week or two.
I said, well, if I disappeared, Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home may be getting a call, so we don't want to do that. Oh, man. But, hey, we do want to welcome you. Let us know that you're out there this morning. Send us a hello, like, and share this broadcast. We're reaching more people than we ever have, and it's because of all of you for being so generous and for continuing to promote the good here in Huntsville. Many folks joining us.
It's not from us being bright and shiny?
No.
Well.
Hey, I do like this setup in here, though. We got a cool little back. We're going to have Derek tell us what all this is, but we've got really cool. Of course, we've got Sam himself, right? I made sure that he was in the shot whenever we set up the camera. So we've got Sam right here, the president, Sam Houston and the early Republic of Texas. I'm so thankful there's writing on all this, too. It makes me seem educated. Well, by the way, Jason was reading. I had to record Pastor Bay yesterday for a video, and our youth minister walked in, and he goes, how did you memorize all that? Because it was pretty long. And then he turned around and goes, oh, there's a teleprompter. It was right there on the lens of the camera. It was pretty good, so...
Well, man, Rob just lost his job,
and that's it. Yeah,
that's it.
What have you been up to, man? It's been a pretty good week this week. A lot happening here throughout the community. What's going on?
We've just been working, work. Yeah, so there you go. I mean, I'm pretty sure y'all don't want an inside glimpse of what I do every day.
Yeah, give us play-by-play.
Well, I mean, there was one day that I unclogged a toilet. That was, an adventure, and just real mandatorial type stuff. Whenever you own a little funeral home, you do it all.
Do you get the do-it-all calls?
Oh, yeah, I do it all.
What maybe is one of the most outrageous do-it-all kind of things that you've ever had to do? I know I'm throwing that at you, but is there anything particular that sticks out, maybe with a vehicle or anything related to the industry?
Oh God, yeah. Well, I mean, just not long ago, I was replacing alternators, and I guess anyone who owns a business will side with this. Whenever something first happens, you're the first line of defense. You go out there and see what you can do to get your operation back up and going. And a lot of times, through my life experiences, I got a little experience with that. And of course, if I pop the hood and realize, oh crap, that's beyond me, then here comes a tow truck and away we go. But for the most part, there's a lot of that little stuff I can handle. So
I'm sure too during services y'all probably had something pop up where you've had to just like make a beeline and go run and do something, probably, right?
Oh yeah.
We had, at my father's service, I had recorded. We were so blessed. We found some of my dad's old tapes with my grandfather where my dad was singing. And I said, that'd be so neat to be able to hear Dad's voice again. So, I'm not knocking. They're nice people. We've known them, the people there. But it's those times where I wish that we would have had a Billy Coffin, there for us, because they were good. I'm not putting them down, but I mean, if you know that I'm going to have music and all that, it should be your responsibility to load all that up. Well, they didn't know how to do it. So I was the one that had to log into their system and get all that music in there and all that. And literally, and here's what kind of irked me a little bit. It was 10 minutes before my father's service.
Oh yeah.
So and I had to officiate a service. I didn't have to. I had the privilege to. I loved that opportunity to honor my dad in that way. I shouldn't have to worry about loading music into a system 10 minutes prior. And I was sweating it, man. And then that poor lady was like, "Well, I don't know if this is going to work, Rob. And so-and-so's on vacation. We're going to have to call." And I said, then get her in here because this needs to be done. And she did. Whoever was apparently on vacation, she called her and got her in, because I didn't know their passwords. I couldn't log into their stuff.
Well, stuff like that should have a generic password so anyone in that organization can get in and access that.
Should be password, and that should be let you down, let down.
Yeah, true let down.
Easy to follow. All right, well, hey, let us know again that you're out there this morning. Big thanks to Megan Burrow also for opening up here and letting us be here, come in yesterday to drop off the equipment. So we had everything in here yesterday and then got it set up this morning. And appreciate all the folks here again at the Sam Houston Memorial Museum, just right off Sam Houston. If you haven't been over here, the duck pond, I'm going to tell you something real quick. And Billy, you know this because you grew up here, but I don't think people realize all of the natural beauty that we have, even right here downtown. One of my favorite things to do is go get something to eat at lunch and go over here and just park at the duck pond. And I like to just sit in my truck and relax and eat. It's such a beautiful area that's kind of, hidden here in downtown Huntsville. So it's pretty neat. We take the kids out here. They love it. We walk around, and there's so much history and so much just natural beauty as you walk around this area.
Well, the funeral home just being right over there, this, coming up like 19th Street and, all that's just normal thoroughfare for us. So I get to drive past the museum several times a day, and it's always fun to see I guess they're like third or fourth grade. I'm not real sure what grade they're in, but normally there's like buses of kids that are running and playing, and there's, the people at the museum that are dressed up in period appropriate clothing, giving them just a glimpse inside. And I know not every one of those kids are digging on that, but I know there's one or two in every one of those groups that really, really took something away from that. And that's something that, with my kids, we've done the museums and we've done the stuff. And like I've tried to tell them, if you will pay attention to what we're actually getting to see whenever y'all cover that in school, it will make so much more sense, because you'll actually have a picture in your head of what's going on versus just what somebody's telling you.
I love it, too. And that big open field, there's a gazebo out here, too, right next to where we have Rotary at the Walker Education Center. And it's neat because every time when I come out of Rotary, there's a couple of guys sitting there eating. What's the veterinary? It's one of the veterinarians here in town.
Oh, is that who that is?
Am I saying that right? Veterinarian? That doesn't sound right.
I think that's right.
Or is it veterinarian?
I don't know. I'm from
veterinarian.
Huntsville.
Veterinarian. And he was on our show, and I feel bad.
Animal doctor?
Yeah, it was an animal doctor. I can't remember
Dr. Quinn, animal doctor.
What was that, Sully? You know, my mom she loved that show so much, and we didn't know any better because VCRs was like we were so proud to finally get it. We were like 15 years behind the schedule, and we finally got a VCR, and we would record. We'd go to Walmart and buy those Fujifilm VHS tapes, and we would record every episode that came, because my mom didn't get off work in time. She got off late, but she loved watching Dr. Quinn, and so we'd always record every one of those Dr. Quinn episodes. And to this day, she has the bookcase. It's still got, and maybe she got rid of them finally, but man, there was like 300 of those VHS tapes of Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman.
When that show was at its prime was the time in my life where we lived on Beat Eyes Creek, and all we got was Channel 3, and it was staticky. But Dr. Quinn, I think it was like on Saturday night or something. And dude, that was the show.
Sully, wasn't Sully the one with the long hair?
Yeah, that was old Billy Ray Cyrus or something.
Sully was in there, and then there was that doctor guy that was always real weird. I forgot who that guy was. It was no, it wasn't the doctor guy, because that was Dr. Quinn.
There was Sully, like Dr. Quinn, and didn't she have like a kid or something?
Yeah, but there was that bar guy. I forgot who. I think he like kept the bar or something. I don't remember the full thing, but yeah, I was always like, what's going on with that guy? Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman. And my dad used to always mock it, because he'd say, all that woman does, she just starts whining. And he's like, I'm glad your mother likes this show, because I don't care for it. All right, well, let us know. That's something to take away today. Let us know, what did you used to record on VHS tapes back in the day before DVR? And for all you youngins out there that don't know what that was, boy, you missed out.
No, better yet, why don't you tell us how many times you set that VCR to auto-record something?
There you go.
And it did not, or it recorded the wrong channel,
and then you caught fire for it.
Ooh, yeah, there was something that the whole family wanted to watch so bad, and we had to go somewhere. So we set it up and confirmed and reconfirmed and confirmed, and when we got back, yes, it sure did. It turned on at that time, and it stopped at this time, but it recorded the wrong doggone channel.
I just had a message. We'll take a break. We're going to have Derek Birdsall joining us here in just a few moments. Kyle Kreiner just sent us a message, and he said it was I guess, was Sully the dentist in that show?
No.
What did he do?
Wasn't he like an Indian or something?
Yeah. I just don't, man. God, that's bringing back some memory. I want to go I want to binge watch Dr. Quinn now this weekend. You know, tell Bridget we got to stay at home and watch Dr. Quinn this weekend.
I want to binge watch the back of my eyelids.
I'll find that guy a little bit later, then I'll try to put it up. So do us a favor. Let us know that you're out there. We'll take a quick break as we continue celebrating and promoting some good here in Huntsville. Derek's going to bring it for us here in a moment.
He's going to tell us about our local Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman.
That's right. So we'll step aside. We'll take a break. More to come. Stay with us. It's your show here on a very faithful Friday, brought to you by Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home. It's a good Friday. We'll take a break. We'll be back in a moment. Stay with us. It's your show. This is Good Morning Huntsville.
Hi, I'm Billy Cawthon, manager of Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home. We know times of loss are tough, and you need a place to feel comfortable and cared for. At Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, we pride ourselves on being with you during those really tough days. You can rest assured that we will be on your side and by your side every step of the way. Thank you for your trust. Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, supporting families every day, every step.
This is Guardian Defense in Huntsville, Texas, a trusted family-owned and operated gun store and range in the heart of East Texas. Guardian Defense is your one-stop destination for Texas LTC, NRA basic pistol and rifle courses, pistol refresher training, as well as a wide selection of quality firearms and ammunition. At Guardian Defense, empowerment is within reach through their Texas DPS-approved license to carry classes. Certified instructors will guide you through every facet of firearm safety, conflict resolution, and the pertinent legal aspects. Book now to become proficient and responsible in handling a firearm with complete confidence. For the eager learners, the fundamentals of pistol and rifle usage await discovery in their comprehensive 8-hour NRA basic courses. You're invited to connect with Guardian Defense on Facebook and Instagram, or give them a call at 936-293-0364. You can also visit them online at guardiandefensellc.com. Guardian Defense, your reliable partner in mastering firearm safety and acquiring quality firearms in the heart of Texas. The church should be transformational. And maybe you've never been to church, or maybe life has left you feeling lost, but Jesus says, "Come to me, all you who labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest." At First Baptist Church, Huntsville, a harbor of hope, we're not trying to fit in with the world. We're here to help you step into something greater, a fresh start, a new life in Christ. Join us this Sunday at 10:45 and see what God can do in your life. Visit fbchuntsville.org. Hope is here, and we're saving a seat just for you.
Loving Jesus, loving people side by side. In this harbor of hope, we are safe inside.
Imagine a professional office space that elevates your business image without the corporate price tag. Huntsville Executive Office Suites are coming soon to Lake Road. Enjoy high-speed internet, a fully equipped kitchen, and 24/7 secure access. Take advantage of our live answering service, advertising on our outdoor video sign, and a convenient location just a quarter mile from SHSU. Lease terms start at 6 months. Call Raven Property Management at 936-225-4378. Huntsville Executive Office Suites. Grow your business without outgrowing your budget.
Tomorrow's Promise Montessori schools believe in creating spaces where children can learn, grow, and use their imaginations. At any Tomorrow's Promise location, children enjoy the largest playgrounds in town. Tomorrow's Promise Montessori is a fun school where every child learns at their own pace, and mastery of a concept is expected before moving on to the next concept. At Tomorrow's Promise, every child is respected, loved, and nurtured for the unique individual that they are.
Tomorrow's Promise Academy on Veterans Memorial now open. Visit tomorrowspromise.info for more information. Education you can trust. This is Guardian Defense in Huntsville, Texas, a trusted family-owned and operated gun store and range in the heart of East Texas. Guardian Defense is your one-stop destination for Texas LTC, NRA basic pistol and rifle courses, pistol refresher training, as well as a wide selection of quality firearms and ammunition. At Guardian Defense, empowerment is within reach through their Texas DPS-approved license to carry classes. Certified instructors will guide you through every facet of firearm safety, conflict resolution, and the pertinent legal aspects. Book now to become proficient and responsible in handling a firearm with complete confidence. For the eager learners, the fundamentals of pistol and rifle usage await discovery in their comprehensive 8-hour NRA basic courses. You're invited to connect with Guardian Defense on Facebook and Instagram, or give them a call at 936-293-0364. You can also visit them online at guardiandefensellc.com. Guardian Defense, your reliable partner in mastering firearm safety and acquiring quality firearms in the heart of Texas. This is KHSP-LP, Huntsville, Texas, the spirit of Huntsville.
This is Kay Boning with Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools, and you're listening to Spirit Radio.
Support for SpiritRadio.fm comes from loyal listeners just like you. Want to help spread the good news across Huntsville and beyond? Underwriting opportunities are available for loyal listeners, businesses, and nonprofits. Visit SpiritRadio.fm and tap Donate today.
This is Billy Cawthon of Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, and you're listening to Spirit Radio, the spirit of Huntsville.
Welcome back out as we continue on this morning. Thanks for joining us on episode 493 of Good Morning Huntsville as you're up and at 'em today on this Good Friday. How about 72 degrees? It'll be up to near 90. Unbelievable to think about that. 70 tonight, and then rain in the forecast. Boy, it keeps going up for Easter, by the way. 70% chance of rain now. You better bring your Easter egg hunt inside.
Who's Adam?
What did I say, Adam?
Up and Adam.
Up and Adam?
Yeah, who's that?
Up and Adam. I had a list.
I ain't getting up and nobody.
Well, when I said Adam, it came out as Adam.
Oh.
Up and Adam.
Giving you their bunny ears.
Hey, check it out. Here we go.
Well, you should.
Here we go. In
Easter.
3, 2, get ready, Derek. You got to do this, and then we're going to, ready? Here we go. 3, 2, coming at you. Whoa, that was perfect, man. That was like in unison.
CZ Top, man.
And in unison.
Tell you, we're getting this news crew together.
Boy, I'll tell you what.
We still don't have that band, though.
Derek, we'd like for you to take up a donation here. Somehow we can make this work where it's legitimate. We need a Good Morning Huntsville van. We want an A-team van.
Oh, yeah, that'd be great.
And we want to get, and we've talked about this, an old beat-up van, you know, a white one with those really cool big black windows on it.
Yeah.
And we want to get a Billy Cawthon character picture on the side of it. And we just want to, the only thing that we've been thinking about is just cruising around in that thing with our arm out the window.
As far out as you can get it.
Okay.
And
who gets
like
to be
the
Mr.
elbow's
T?
got to be past the mirror.
Yeah.
Who's Mr. T?
If you can get the van, you could be Mr. T. So
And we have put forth a lot of effort to get the van. Matter of fact, we have already acquired the coffee can in which to put the donations in.
yeah,
So
we've got that. So Folgers, it's an old one from my grandmother from 1982.
we knocked her ashes out of it.
Gosh. Derek Birdsall, good to see you. Brother
Good morning.
Birdsall joining us.
Good
I
morning.
like to reach across Billy here. Hey, good to see you there.
And thanks for joining, people.
Good morning.
No, it's good to see you, Derek, here with the Sam Houston Memorial Museum. It's been a while.
Yes, sir.
It's been a hot minute, you know, or a cold minute. I don't know
I
how
can't
you-
wait for somebody to call it the Sam Houston Memorial Museum, Funeral Home Museum.
You know, there are would not be the first time.
Well, Derek, let us know what's going on. We've had you on numerous times to talk about various activities that you're involved in here in the
And
community.
we still let him come back.
We let you come back. We did not receive. We only received 4 complaints. Our max is 5.
Only 4?
Just 4. Usually on Friday we get about 30 anyway. So,
Been a
but
slow
True,
day.
true story. A couple of weeks ago.
yeah, phone started ringing. It was like that. Instead of I hear the train a coming in my mind, I hear that phone a ringing right around the corner. But Derek, let us know how you've been. We'll dig in and talk a little bit about some great events coming up here with Sam Houston, the museum, and a lot of wonderful things happening here in Huntsville. But just give us a quick, how have you been? What have you been up to, man?
Nothing. Right?
Perfect.
No, it's always fun. People go, so what does a museum director do? And I don't know how to answer that exactly. Seems like I talk a bunch. Megan's probably tired of hearing me yap, but
is Megan hiding back there? By the way,
I think she is. She tends to do that. We need to get her up on screen. I think it'd be kind of entertaining.
Hey, maybe we could have Megan real quick, Derek. She could adjust the camera for us because I can't get up and do it. Megan, could we hire you for 2 seconds? You don't have to be on camera, but we need to center the camera. Do you think
She gone.
Yeah, she went and left.
Is she really
wisely.
gone?
Yeah,
There
there she is.
Megan,
come on,
back.
Megan.
Megan, we need you. Megan, don't worry. We're not going to put you on camera, but we'll pay you in gratuity of thanking you for your wonderful service. Could you turn the camera slightly, just ever so slightly? Here we go. Yes, let's say here we go. Ready. Keep going. Yeah, keep going. It's not going. Oh, there. Oh, the other way. I lied to you. I lied to her.
Come on.
Keep it. And there we go. Thank you.
Hey, we found something she could do.
Boy, I got to pay her now,
That's
Billy.
good.
Anyways, sorry about that, Derek.
I'm going to hide under the table that way. I'm not in any of the lawsuits.
Well, that'll just go into my HR file. It'll be fine.
Gotcha.
But no, springtime in Texas. It is what you will hear. Historical museums like ours, San Jacinto, Washington on the Brazos, San Felipe, and Goliad. We'll call this the high holy days of spring, where it's the Texas Revolution. The bulk of the war took place from about February through San Jacinto Day on April 21st, and so there is event after event after event for our museums, and so we're kind of on our hands and knees here at the end of it, looking forward to San Jacinto Day. You'll always see all of the folks that are in historical costume that you mentioned earlier. By the time May the 1st gets here, they just like, because they're like, all right, we survived another Texas Revolution year. So, but super busy, which is good. Better to be busy than bored, absolutely. So there's always stuff going on. We always have some sort of activity going on over here, and it's a good time to be alive.
I feel so bad. I told Megan yesterday I have never walked through this area in here. I've been, to the other parts of the museum and over at the Walker Education Center. Do those connect, by the way, or they don't connect, do they?
They connect by walking.
So, but I mean, is there an out? I mean, the two buildings aren't joined, are they? So there's the museum over there then, right? And I guess that's where I was confused. I didn't realize there was a part component here and then, over there where we meet for Rotary.
Correct. So the museum is really, we've talked about, like the words that we use to describe the museum. Because when you say, meet me at the museum, this where we are today, this is a museum, gallery space with exhibits behind glass and that kind of thing. But the museum itself is really, it's a complex. It's a museum complex of 15 acres that, on this end of the museum grounds at the main museum is one end of the park, and the education center where we meet for Rotary is on the other end. And then the green space that y'all were discussing a minute ago in between is part of the museum complex. So we're a little bit unusual in the museum world, where we have a traditional gallery like we are sitting in right now, as well as what museum folks will call an open air museum. And that's what's out on the ground. So we're an open air museum with historic houses and structures, as well as a traditional museum like we're in this morning.
I'm curious, we're around a lot of just really, really awesome artifacts and displays here honoring Sam Houston and his life and legacy. Billy, when Billy and I walked in, I was wondering, can you describe this behind us, this kind of painting here on this cloth? Sure. What is this?
Absolutely. So just to our left, stage right, I guess, for those watching. But just to our left is our newest exhibit that we opened up in October last year. And if you'd been in this place any time since about 2001, we are sitting where the old diorama used to be with Sam Houston accepting Santa Anna's surrender. So we took that out, replaced it with Sam Houston's executive mansion, if you will.
Which is right in here. Yeah, this is awesome.
And then we wanted to give some context to Houston's mansion. And we had a local artist of fame, local famous artist, if you will, Lee Jameson. We collaborated with him to do this mural behind us of depicting what the town of Houston looked like in 1837. And it was just it was getting its start. Had just switched names from Harrisburg to Houston.
Wow.
And it was very muddy, as you can imagine. And lots of mosquitoes, and the earliest description we have of Houston's executive mansion is that it had a mud floor and it was super just muddy and dirty all the time. So the canvas behind us gives you a little context of what the town of Houston looked like when Houston, the man, was working in that building.
It's a lot different now.
Yeah, it is.
It's quite a bit different.
Yeah. A little taller buildings.
Didn't have much smog back then, Billy.
Yeah.
The traffic was pretty minimal.
Now it's radioactive mud.
Yeah. You mentioned Lee Jameson. I had an opportunity to meet him for the first time as he's been painting that beautiful mural on the side of the new book and wine bar that's going to be opening up before too long. And boy, just what incredible talent. I go back, I always highlight the good here, obviously, in this community. And if you haven't looked up Lee Jameson's work, just come in here to the museum to get an idea and then go drive by that. Have you seen that thing going on?
See, I sat behind Lee at church, so to me, it's just Lee. Just, world famous. I tell it's just Lee.
All these people.
Hang on, he'll be up there singing in a minute.
Right. Well, you got to wish Lee feeling better. He's caught a bit of the COVID, and I think he's recovering from it now. But yeah. Feel better, Lee.
Yeah, sorry to hear that. Well, next Saturday, not this Saturday, but next Saturday, big event coming up that we really wanted to highlight this morning, too, and it's General Sam Houston Day, going to take place here at the museum grounds from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. I was joking around with Megan earlier, and I said, hey, we can give away some free admissions on the show. But the fact is, everybody can get in for free.
Absolutely.
Tell us what we can expect here next Saturday, my friend.
Sure thing. So General Sam Houston Day is really the rebranded folk festival that everybody remembers from back in the day. And it is kind of a return to the roots of the old folk festival, where we have a whole bunch of period demonstrators and living historians out on the ground talking about Sam Houston and times of his life. So we'll have folks from some of those other historic sites that I mentioned, Washington on the Brazos, Fanthorpe Inn, San Felipe, etc. But they will be out demonstrating blacksmithing, woodworking. We have our very popular wagon rides will be back out.
Oh, cool.
And there'll be cooking demonstrations and medical demonstrations and all of that. But it'll be a good opportunity to come out onto the grounds and learn about what life was like while Sam Houston was alive.
So maybe if you've had a snake bite recently or you've got cut open, come by and get
free clinic day.
Yeah,
on the ground.
We have one of the more frequent statements we'll get from visitors as they come to visit. They go, I really wish I could have lived back then. It's just so nice and peaceful. And I'm like, yeah, you want to rethink that. So when y'all say come back for some medical treatment, I don't know that's a good plan. I don't know that's a good plan.
Was penicillin?
Wrap it up. No.
Penicillin around back then?
No penicillin, no antibiotics, no Neosporin.
It was like my old vet. He used to always say, I'll just put a little baby oil back on it. I said back then, he'd probably, I'll just put a little tobacco leaf on it. You'll be all right.
Yes, actually. Yeah.
Hey, for a wall stain, tobacco spit.
Billy, have you ever been able to come down here during any of these events? You know, I feel bad as a family. We have not been able to get down here. Have you been able to come down?
How dare you?
I know. I'm insulted.
Oh, yeah.
Jeez, Rob.
But have y'all ever been able to, like, just come out and see these? I mean, you've been here for a long time and seen some of this stuff. I mean, it's pretty neat that they have this right here.
Yeah, I mean, I came to the folk festival as a kid.
Back in the day.
And then our Boy Scout troop, there's a historic Trails of Huntsville, and one of the main deals is here at the museum. Like, we actually have to come in, find certain things, and get the whole the tour and everything. So,
well, you know, we'll tell people all the time that if you don't like Huntsville the way it is today, you know, you can blame Sam Houston for that. Because if Sam Houston didn't live in Huntsville, Huntsville would be much like Madisonville with the Buc-ee's on the interstate and, you know, a mile down the road to the town square, and that'd be about it. And no offense to Madisonville, love it.
Yeah.
But, you know, if Houston had not lived here, the college wouldn't be here today. Most likely the penitentiary wouldn't be here today.
You think a lot about, I was talking with Megan when we first came in here just about the culture of this community. I remember when Andy Broniger, we had him on the show right before his term was up, and I said, what's one thing as you leave that you would love to see Huntsville continue? And he said preserving the culture. That was his number one thing. He said, you know, as a community grows, it's very hard to hold on to the things that have made the community what it is. And Mayor Humphrey's done a great job, and our council, you know, really working hard to preserve that culture. And it's not easy. It's something you got to weigh, because you obviously you want your community to grow, but you want it to grow in the right ways. And I bring all this up because what a tremendous blessing to have this museum, to have all of this history with Sam Houston, as you just alluded to, Derek, right here in Huntsville. And my encouragement to folks, and even to myself, is don't take this for granted. Many communities would love to have facilities such as this. They would love to have that history attached to it, and they don't. Just like you mentioned, some communities, no disrespect to them, but somebody somewhere had to do something to found those communities, so there was always someone important. But, you know, maybe just highlight a little bit about the culture and just and really the vital role that this plays. Maybe expand on that just a little bit more, Derek, for somebody.
Yeah, no, you know, so we definitely saw during COVID that the museum and the museum grounds really were an outlet for the Huntsville community. You know, we have a beautiful green space outside. We have 15 acres of just beautiful outdoor space that's free to come out and hang out. And we saw during COVID that, you know, people wanted to get out of the house and go somewhere safe, get outside. And, you know, our museum grounds during COVID, you know, really didn't slow down from, you know, from our regular time, you know, as we are today without the pandemic going on. And you know, we have been part of this community since, you know, depending on whose start date you want to use, whether it's 1904 or 1911, or definitely by 1936 when the museum officially became part of the university and became a state entity, if you will. But, you know, Billy was showing pictures of his family sitting out on the porch of the Woodland home. You know, we could go back nearly 100 years now and see images of local Huntsville people enjoying the property, learning about the history, taking their senior pictures or their wedding pictures or their graduation pictures or whatnot. But the museum has been a part of this community for a very long time, and it's something that we're very proud of.
Yeah, I know we cut up and joke on the show quite a bit, but the seriousness of it is we are so thankful for this facility. Derek, I know if you want to meet two of the best jokers in town, good joking guys, it's these two right here. And
well, when he said, like, taking the photos,
there's something flying in there.
Yeah, we're up here all the time doing that.
I know. It is great. You know, but and truly, I mean, we have been a part of you know, local Huntsville people, you know, part of their lives for over a century, you know, and it's an honor, and it's a good thing to be.
Well, Derek, one thing that I just love about you, man, that really stands out is just your passion for what you do. And I mention it seems like every show, not to be a broken record, but it's important. If you're passionate about what you do, you'll be successful.
I have the best job in the world. When Dr. White comes down for a visit, I'll tell her constantly, that this is the best job on campus. I have the best staff, the best office. And, if I get stressed out and need some quiet time, I can go into our vault and I can literally hold on to history.
Yeah, talk about
like this right
Billy.
here.
Billy was reading this earlier too. Billy, what was your take? Let us know about this, and I'd like for Billy to comment on this too.
So,
it's pretty neat.
So what we are doing currently, one of the things I am passionate about is that we are not passive about collecting Sam Houston's history. So we are being fairly aggressive about going out and purchasing or whatnot Houston-related documents and artifacts. And this is one of the newer documents that we purchased last year.
So cool.
But this is a letter from Sam Houston to a friend of his, and he's lamenting, my course in life today is I have a headache, a face ache, and a toothache, and I just had a tooth removed, and I don't feel very good. So even though this is a pretty simple one-page letter and it doesn't really contain any bombshells or political stuff, I don't know that anybody knew Houston had a tooth removed. So this adds to the puzzle that is Sam Houston's life, and it adds a little piece to that puzzle. But again, it's a wonderful document. Traces some of Houston's time when he's in the U.S. Senate, and to be able to share that history with folks it's just invaluable. You can't put a price tag on it. But yeah, I can go hang out in the vault and study some of what Houston was working on or whatnot, and it's truly a privilege.
Billy, you made a comment earlier, that handwriting. I mean, my goodness, if I could write like that.
Yeah, no joke. And, and of course, when you read further down and, to see that he's had a tooth taken out and all that, and his handwriting is still that good.
Can I see that real quick?
Sure.
I mean, this is, boy, look at this thing. It even has, now, is this his official seal up here, or is that something that was put on later? I noticed that little embalming
wasn't around at that time. I'll just put that out there.
So,
water.
What that little thing is up on the upper left part of that piece of paper is Houston was exceptionally thrifty in some ways. And I'm pretty sure that he borrowed that piece of paper from the hotel he was staying at.
I was just thinking that.
That watermark is from the hotel.
You know what's neat I love about the old, technology has grown so much over the years, Derek, and I'm sure that, sometimes you get to play around with some of this stuff. But, it's the internet now is so capable of just scanning images, and I was going to scan this. Of course, I'm sitting here trying to do it, and my phone decides it's going to run. Look at this.
Nice. That's good.
Yeah, this is great.
Figure out where that's from.
Oh, never mind. There you go. But I was gonna Google image that thing and see where it came from.
And we did. We took a look, and nothing popped up just yet.
See, you're already on. I thought I could contribute.
No, it's
you're
good.
like, no, Rob, we're not hiring. Sorry. I'm just kidding, man. But that is pretty neat. So real quick, just so folks know, I mean, this thing is graded. It's just like a trading card the way it's graded. How do did it come in like this, or do you actually send stuff out and get it graded? How does that work?
So, when I do purchase things from online, you stick to reputable auction houses to make sure that what you're getting is what you're paying for. And so the auction house put that in the inside that's little capsule. And it's just been a wonderful opportunity because, I can take this and let y'all handle it and hold it and look at it without having to put gloves on and be curatorial.
Yeah.
And I don't have to worry about anybody damaging this document because I don't know that that's bulletproof completely, but it's pretty solid.
I think that's actually a logo from like a carriage company.
That's what it looks like.
Like DNS. That looks like what he's doing. He's got his hat out there. So.
It could be. But I feel fairly good that he swiped that piece of paper from somewhere.
Now, you always
take the pens when you leave, right?
That's right.
Are you at liberty to discuss, not particularly that, but if someone had a document of that right there, maybe laying, what would something like that, what would that be worth? Is that okay to mention?
Sure.
Like that?
No, like just what you'll see sometimes is down here on the bottom with Houston's signature.
Mm-hmm.
You'll see sometimes people will have a letter or a deed or something like that, and they'll cut the signature out, and they'll sell that. That's a pretty common thing for whether it's Sam Houston or Abraham Lincoln or whoever. And just a Houston signature, you're going to look at about $1,000.
Wow.
That's in good condition and whatnot. There was a document that I chased in last year that I chickened out at $30,000, and it eventually sold for $50,000.
Wow.
And that was a very, that was not a run-of-the-mill, letter. It was one of probably the more famous letters Houston ever wrote, because it talks about he's writing his cousin and talking about how Houston is the greatest, Texas is the greatest thing I've ever seen, and it's a beautiful place, and it's green, and the flower, and he's describing Texas in the spring.
Wow.
But that particular letter is if you're a Texan and you like to collect historical stuff, that's a pretty awesome letter, and it went for $50,000. So,
Do you have any regrets of not going to that?
It drives me crazy.
Okay. I suffer from that stuff. Too.
One of the goals of the museum is that I want to create an endowment where I have a nice chunk of change in the bank that will generate enough interest each year that when items like that come up,
the funds to do
I
it,
was literally on the phone with my boss, Matt Bethay, at 10:30 at night saying, "Hey, I need some extra money. Can you pull some money from somewhere so I can purchase this document?" But this is a pretty big ask, and unfortunately, I didn't have an extra $50,000 to purchase that letter. So, hopefully, at one point, we'll have a nice little endowment that when things like that come up again, we'll be able to handle it.
I would think too. You mentioned people cutting out the signatures. I mean, does that devalue? I would think that the whole document would be so important to have.
It depends. Like if it's on a simple, a land deed or a treasury warrant or something like that, those are pretty common. And if you cut the signature off that, you're not messing anything up too bad.
It may bring a little more value because they're like, what did this go to? Well, it was for me to know and you to find out.
Yes. Yeah, for sure. But it just depends on the document. Like I would never cut his signature off of this letter, for example.
Yeah.
But if it was a simple deed or a land grant, then those are, I don't want to say dime a dozen, but those are pretty common.
There was one that he had written that hasn't, they're still trying to discover this. I heard some rumors about it where he had actually foreshadowed the birth of Billy Cawthon. And we're waiting on that.
We're waiting on that. Yeah, it'll turn up.
There was a connection with Sam Houston and the Cawthon family, years ago.
It's in somebody's attic somewhere.
I'm sure. I'm almost certain. It's not mine. We cleaned that sucker out.
People are ransacking their attics now. I know that letter's up here somewhere.
Could be.
Well, hey, again, we want to remind you, Saturday, April the 26th, come out here to the museum grounds. It's going to be such a wonderful day for families and just, hey, even if you don't have a family, come out and be a part of this. Some people may be watching this morning that live on their own. Maybe they don't have kids. They're not married. This is for everybody.
Yep, for everybody.
So come out, be a part of it. Young people, anybody.
Like a singles event?
Singles event, yeah. There'll be a booth set up. Speed dating, Sam, what would a Sam Houston speed dating look like? What would that be? What would the discussion be, Derek?
There'd be a lot of letters going back and forth between each other for about a year is about what that would look like.
Take a raw oyster and get out.
That's about as fast as it would go. But 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. I'll ask you this, and we'll wrap up here in just a few moments, Derek. But I know you've mentioned a lot of things that are going on this day, on the General Sam Houston Day. But maybe what is one or two things that you really just enjoy the most about this day?
It's a good opportunity to show off our grounds and show off the museum property. Back in the day, the folk festival was considered to be like a tourist-directed event, and we really chased people from Bryan or from the Woodlands to come into Huntsville and see some of what Huntsville is. But over time, I have come to believe this is a community event, and this event is for the community. It will remain free of charge for the foreseeable future, to make sure that people in Huntsville can come out, have a good day, and get a chance to learn about their history at no charge.
A couple of other things that I briefly want to touch base on. We just wrapped up the March to the Grave, last month. I think that went very well.
Yeah,
80 plus got baptized at Texan. That event continues to grow. And then Sundown at Sam's is already well underway. The final music series will take place on May the 1st.
Yeah.
Maybe highlight a little bit about that event if you don't mind.
Absolutely. So, the Sundown at Sam's is on its third year now, which just kind of shocks me how fast time flies anymore.
Yeah.
But, our final show for the spring series will be on May the 1st. It'll be kind of a gospel theme that night. We'll have local folks, Praise on Purpose will be out singing. And it is something that Houston loved to listen to music. His wife Margaret was a very talented piano player. She could play the harp, could play the Spanish guitar, and I know that if Houston were alive, he would be very interested in having music in his backyard. So that was kind of the genesis of this whole project, was to bring back something to this property that Sam Houston would have enjoyed. And to be out on the museum grounds in this spring, it's been absolutely beautiful weather, contrasted to last year where we received all that rain that knocked out a couple of our concerts. But this year the weather is gorgeous. Watching the sun set behind the stage while you listen to live music, No Yawn and Billy, is completely.
I didn't get to bring my
pretty
coffee
cool.
in.
It's pretty awesome.
I did want to mention too, just because I'm on staff also over at First Baptist. We have a big photo of Sam Houston hanging up in there. Do you have any knowledge about some of his spiritual upbringing? Like, did he attend? We've heard, and the story is that he attended, and there was a possibility that he got baptized from that church or something. Do you have any knowledge about his connection to First Baptist?
Sure. So, Houston struggled with religion for most of his life. If you read between the lines, I think that he didn't think that he was worthy of being a Christian, of being religious, that he didn't think God would accept him for. He talked a lot about the sins I've committed over time. But his wife Margaret, his third wife, really leaned on him pretty hard for quite a while, and he did convert. He was baptized in the Baptist church, and he was baptized in Independence. That's where you get the kind of famous line where the preacher dunks him in the creek and says, your sins have all been washed downstream, and he says, I feel sorry for those poor fish. But Houston was a member of the Baptist church. The First Baptist church was Margaret's church here in town, and there are stories of the Baptist church baptizing members of its congregation here on the museum grounds, or here on Houston's property.
Cool.
Yeah. So in the in the duck pond today is where they used to do baptisms for the church. So clearly a connection between the First Baptist Church and this property.
That's awesome. Yeah, I've heard some stories, and being there, I've always wanted to hear from the man the man that would know better than anyone, Derek Birdsall. So
I don't know about that, but
do you feel like you're part of the family? I mean, you've been, especially when his family comes in. One of his relatives looks exactly like him that comes in for the March to the Grave. Do you feel like you have been around Sam Houston and the research, and do you feel like you're almost an extension of the family?
No, I feel kind of like the storyteller of the family. Really, or the story keeper, I guess. Each one of the members of the family who feel like sharing, when they pass down stories that they've heard through their family, and we try to keep track of all those. But yeah, no, I think I'm more the storyteller than a member of Houston's family, for sure. Cool. It is neat when they come by, because almost all of them, to a person, Houston was known. He had very colorful eyes, very bright, colorful blue eyes, and almost all of his descendants that come in do have very, very bright, colorful eyes. It's pretty cool to see the resemblance, because in one form or fashion, they clearly take after Sam.
Someone did, before we let you go, Derek, just a couple of questions. Or someone said, I missed the Sam Houston Folk Festival. I didn't know that we had that.
Well, yeah, the Folk Festival went back into the 80s. It was originally intended to generate money for the museum. At that time, the state budget had been cut. And local folks like Jane Monday and Mac Woodward got together to generate an event that would raise money to support the museum. And the new General Sam Houston Day is really the rebranded Folk Festival.
Awesome. And then Autumn was just a couple more questions there. Autumn asked this. She said, didn't Sam have his own law company? And she was thinking maybe that Watermark was his law firm.
He did have, he was an attorney. I don't know that he was a practicing attorney. We do have the office that, today we call it the law office here on the grounds. But really, to me, it was more of a political office where, whether it's, Congressman Sessions or Congressman Luttrell, they'll have a local office, where they can visit their constituents. I really see the the place we call the law office as Sam's kind of senatorial office here on the grounds for sure.
When you would call his law office, would they answer the phone? Law office.
The hammer, right?
Yeah. And then finally, Patty's joining us. Good morning to you, Patty. She was asking, what time does the sundown at Sam start on May the 1st?
6:15.
6:15. If you come at 6:14,
that's right.
Not going to be started.
Yeah.
You better be there at 6:15.
The lines the lines to get pupusas and tacos will be way too long.
Perfect, man. Well, Billy, did you have any other questions or anything maybe for Derek?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, get ready. Is it the Brazos or the Brazos?
Brazos.
Is it?
Brazos. I'll say Brazos.
I'll say Brazos.
Yeah.
Okay, you're wrong.
Tomato,
I'm right.
tomato.
Yeah, okay, good.
Well, I learned something today.
Thanks for not being on my side.
San Felipe. You know how many people say San Felipe?
Mm-hmm.
That's not it. It's San Felipe.
Well, and the same thing can be said for San Jacinto. I think most Texans will say San Jacinto.
Yeah, that's what
and
I say.
When we have folks come in from north of the Mason-Dixon line, a lot of times they'll try to be correct, and they'll say San Jacinto. I'm like, you're not from here, are you?
Or they'll say Marquez.
That's right.
Like I did, because I didn't know any better.
It's Marquez. I know that one.
By the way, Patty said whenever you said what time is it, she said, please don't say sundown. For the sundown.
I know. It is. Yeah, it's sundown. Yeah, for sure.
Well, Derek, again, thank you. I know we joke and have a good time, but, man, you were so passionate. And we're so thankful to have you in this community and your passion and for what you do to help preserve the legacy and the history and the heritage of Sam Houston and his family. So thank you, man. I know it's a lot of hard work.
Yeah,
so thank you.
time.
All right. Well, there he is, Derek Birdsall, joining us, and we'll have to have you back on again sometime, my friend.
Anytime.
We'll take a break. Billy and I will close it out when we come back. It's the National Day of something. I have no idea what.
I know, right?
We'll look it up.
Ice cream.
You have any favorite national days? If you could have a national day of something, Derek, what would you want?
Pizza.
He's like running the money. I'm sure it is.
Pizza. I'd take pizza.
I've been eating cauliflower crust pizza lately.
Pizza doesn't taste the same as it did when I was a kid. It was so much better back then.
You remember the squares we used to get at
school? Oh, yeah. God almighty, yes.
We used to get that at
I commented on that just yesterday, that if I could, somebody was like, if you could go back to any time, you're like, I don't want to go back to elementary school and get that little square pizza on Fridays with the corn and the milk.
It's corn and the chocolate milk, absolutely.
The corn did it, man.
Yeah.
And Pizza Hut had the Bigfoot. You remember those that came out of a rectangle?
Yes.
Just not the same.
Now I'm wanting pizza.
All right,
let's go.
We'll take a break. We'll wrap it up when we come back. Stay with us. Big thank you again to Derek Birdsall, the Sam Houston Memorial Museum. Come by and visit them right off Sam Houston Avenue, and make sure that you come to General Sam Houston Day next Saturday, April the 26th from 10 to 5, and also mark your calendars for sundown at Sam's on May the 1st, just before sundown at 6:15. We'll be back in a moment. Stay with us. It's Good Morning Huntsville.
Hi, I'm Billy Cawthon, manager of Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home. We know times of loss are tough, and you need a place to feel comfortable and cared for. At Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, we pride ourselves on being with you during those really tough days. You can rest assured that we will be on your side and by your side every step of the way. Thank you for your trust. Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, supporting families every day, every step.
This is Guardian Defense in Huntsville, Texas, a trusted family-owned and operated gun store and range in the heart of East Texas. Guardian Defense is your one-stop destination for Texas LTC, NRA basic pistol and rifle courses, pistol refresher training, as well as a wide selection of quality firearms and ammunition. At Guardian Defense, empowerment is within reach through their Texas DPS-approved license to carry classes. Certified instructors will guide you through every facet of firearm safety, conflict resolution, and the pertinent legal aspects. Book now to become proficient and responsible in handling a firearm with complete confidence. For the eager learners, the fundamentals of pistol and rifle usage await discovery in their comprehensive 8-hour NRA basic courses. You're invited to connect with Guardian Defense on Facebook and Instagram, or give them a call at 936-293-0364. You can also visit them online at guardiandefensellc.com. Guardian Defense, your reliable partner in mastering firearm safety and acquiring quality firearms in the heart of Texas. The church should be transformational. And maybe you've never been to church, or maybe life has left you feeling lost, but Jesus says, "Come to me, all you who labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest." At First Baptist Church, Huntsville, a harbor of hope, we're not trying to fit in with the world. We're here to help you step into something greater, a fresh start, a new life in Christ. Join us this Sunday at 10:45 and see what God can do in your life. Visit fbchuntsville.org. Hope is here, and we're saving a seat just for you.
Loving Jesus, loving people side by side. In this harbor of hope, we are safe inside.
Hey, I'm Denise Olivas, Business Account Specialist at Walker County Federal Credit Union, and our business is helping you take care of your business. In addition to personal accounts, Walker County Federal Credit Union also offers business accounts and business lending for commercial customers. We're devoted to taking care of the needs of our individual members and helping our business members with their financial success too. Call us today and find out how easy it is to work with Walker County Federal Credit Union. Member NCUA.
Support for SpiritRadio.fm comes from loyal listeners just like you. Want to help spread the good news across Huntsville and beyond? Underwriting opportunities are available for loyal listeners, businesses, and nonprofits. Visit SpiritRadio.fm and tap Donate today.
Oh, sorry about that.
Here, wash it down with an oyster.
You know it's good when it just says
scooch.
You want some
It's
scooch?
not even scotch, it's scooch.
Scooch. You want some scooch? We got, I wonder, you think that's just apple juice in there they put in? Yeah, it is. Look at the bubbles. Look. That's apple juice.
Let's see.
That's apple scooch.
Apple scooch.
Sounds like something you go to the doctor for. Got diagnosed with the scooch.
How could you tell he had it? He was scooching across the floor.
He has some bugs.
That boy was scooching all over the place.
Oh, I'll have to ask Dr. Young and Dr. Trey about that. Have you ever heard of the scooch? Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. We've had several cases lately.
Don't come down with the scooches.
Did you ever watch that movie, Big Daddy, with Adam Sandler, and they dump off this little boy to him, and he finally gets that little boy into school, and it's the elderly teacher that's his homeroom teacher, and she mentions to him and mentions to Adam about how, because Adam let him do whatever he wanted there at the beginning of the movie, and he was the stinky boy in class because he's like, oh, I don't want to take a bath, so he's like, okay, do whatever you want, and there's a line that for some reason the dumbest parts of movies stand out to me the most, and no one understands why, like when I talk about them. But there was a part where Adam Sandler's talking to this teacher, and he goes, my boy's the stinkiest in the class. And then the teacher goes, oh, yes, I've seen some stinky ones before, but he's by far the stinkiest. So anytime I hear, oh, yes, I think of that line.
Isn't that where Scuba Steve came into play? Because it would get him in the bathtub?
Yeah. And then that kid throws up, and he just puts newspaper over it all. He wets the bed. He puts newspaper over it all. And then he's like, "Won't you shut up?"
That's where I learned my awesome parenting skills.
Yeah, if you have children, watch Big Daddy.
You keep your newspapers handy.
Yeah, keep them handy, and it works. The only problem is if you leave them there, they kind of stick to the floor, and then you can't get rid of them after so many years.
Yeah, very true.
In our garage, I'll never forget, growing up, we had paint that had poured out, and we put newspaper over it. And then for 15 years, there was paint dried up with newspaper in the garage floor. And the easiest thing to do, just get a scraper and it'll come up. But we never took time to do it. So for 15 years, it just sat there on the floor.
It ain't hurting nobody.
Nope. It's what a garage is for, too. So, Well, man, we were asking earlier, what is it the national day of, Billy? And to be honest, I had no idea. Normally I look at this before I come in. But today, it is a day that I don't celebrate. National Exercise Day.
You didn't go to the gym this morning?
Did not. No, sir.
I noticed I didn't see you there.
Of course, today's Good Friday. The importance, it's been Holy Week all week. Today's Good Friday. And, I think it's so important, again, that families just get back to the root of things, and start now and go to church on Sunday. I encourage people, if you don't have a place to get plugged in, I know y'all have got services going on. Pastor Powers over there does a great job. He's quickly became like one of my, outside of our pastor, obviously my pastor, I just love Jason to pieces, but he's became like my second favorite pastor in Huntsville, Pastor Powers.
He's a pretty cool guy.
P Money, double P.
Yeah.
Hey, it's also National Clean Out Your Medicine Cabinet Day today.
I'm more excited about the other one there.
National Animal Crackers.
Yeah.
Oh, do you have this one?
National Poem in your pocket?
Yeah.
No.
Jacqueline, if you're watching right now, does Jacqueline wear jeans?
Yes.
If you're watching, Billy slipped something in your back pocket, so go ahead and check. If it's not there, it fell out. Because he called me earlier. He said, hey, brother. It's he called me.
Hey, brother.
No, he said, hey, Bubba, do you know it's National Poem in Your Pocket Day? I said, by golly, no. He goes, I just wrote Jacqueline one. I just got through watching the Green Mile. The Green Book. I just learned how to write poems from that guy. I just wrote her one and put it in her back pocket.
Yeah, I'll send her a text message.
It's also National Lineman Appreciation. Boy, that's a hard job to be in. You know anybody that's a lineman?
Yep.
That's not an easy job, man.
Nope. Them dudes got it rough, man, especially like when the power's out and it's bad weather and hot or raining sideways or freezing.
It's like I was thinking about, my dog, and we spent money we didn't have, and I appreciate so many people in the community helping us with that, but I wanted to keep my dog alive. It was one of those deals where if I get this thing removed, he's got a good chance at least having a little bit longer life. Well, it turned out it was even better.
Should have gave him some of that scooch.
Should have gave him the apple scooch, Boy, what's that popping up on your arm? You got the scooch. That's going to be the new word.
Circled back to y'all, didn't we?
Yeah. But I thought about that, Billy, and I remember when I went over there and they told me they tell you up front at Blue Pearl, and it's not cheap. And she told me, and when I came back, and I got him after the service, I still had a little bit of a balance, and I said something about like, well, what's it going to cost to come back and remove the bandages? And she said, sir, don't come back here because we're going to charge you for it. Just go to your local vet. They'll probably do it for free, which Dr. Duvall did. He didn't charge me to cut the bandage off. And I made a comment, but I told her, I said, I know it's not your fault because you're just the messenger, right? You're just the, and so I want to encourage you. Maybe you get frustrated with something, and just realize that it's not the person generally that you're talking to that's the decision maker.
Yeah.
They're just doing their job. Don't take it out on them. I didn't take out anything on those ladies there. In fact, I was cutting up and joking around with them. I told her that my dog's last name was Daddy, because she asked she goes, what's your dog's name? Mac. And she goes, what's your name? And she goes, what's your dog's name? I said, Mac. And then she goes, what's your name? I said, don't laugh, but my name's Rob Daddy. That's my last name. Because they write the dog's first and last name, so they started calling him Mac Daddy. But it wasn't their fault that they had those poor ladies up front. I mean, they're just doing their job, Now, granted, do they get like a 50% commission? Yes. But anyways, it is what it is, man.
I know it's a little off topic, but James has a friend that he's had since daycare, and they have a little dog that they named Cat.
What do they say? Come here, kitty. Did they say that to the dog? Come here, kitty, kitty, kitty. What kind of dog is this?
Just a little thing.
Oh man! All right, I don't think we're gonna hit the road. Do y'all have a service going on today?
We have stuff going on today.
So no restaurant report
Gearing
today.
up right now.
I actually had people texting. It's become a thing now where people text me. It's become known as the lunch bunch. By the way, have you heard of this? They're starting to call it the lunch bunch, and I got 2 messages yesterday saying, "Hey, where's the lunch bunch going to be tomorrow?" No lunch bunch today. No Billy Cawthon restaurant report today.
I'm ready to circle back to Hart's Chicken.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a long time since I've been there.
I need to get my heart medicine.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's for Mac, his heart guard.
Yeah, get that parvo cleared up.
It's like, Bubba.
That's somebody's business.
That's somebody's business. Poor guy, Billy got so serious, too. We always joke around, and then he just looked at me. A little tear kind of started whelping up there in the corner of that duct. He goes, Bubba, that's somebody's business.
Y'all ever wish y'all didn't say something?
Well, hey, that'll wrap it up. Nothing to give away today. We can't give away the scooch because it's not ours, so no apple scooch. Derek did. Oh, Derek just came in and he said, "You know that Sam Houston letter that I just showed y'all? Why don't y'all give that away today?" No, I'm just kidding. He's like, absolutely.
Hey, as you could notice when he left, I just now noticed myself, but when he left, so did that letter.
Yeah, I was calling a buddy of mine that is able to, borrow those kind of things, for funding, and Derek took it right away. So, well, hey, that'll wrap it up. Been a great week here. Get out this weekend. Again, celebrate Easter. Enjoy time with your family. And then make plans next weekend to be here back at the museum grounds. It's going to be almost at fairgrounds. When I hear the word grounds, I think of fair. The fairgrounds. Be back here at the museum.
Don't you love how we run that word together? Fairgrounds?
Fairgrounds.
But it's fair.
Grounds.
Grounds.
Yeah. Be back.
And there's an A gets thrown in there in Texas. Fairgrounds.
Fairgrounds. Where'd y'all? Well, my brother was born over at the fairgrounds right there in the parking lot.
I grew up beside the fairgrounds.
You did. The fairgrounds.
Still do.
You were there, and then one thing before we go, I'm still kind of missing that red glow at night. The pulsating red glow. It's not there anymore. And I'm still waiting.
Yeah, that's robbed childhood memories of mine, So I was over pretty close to the source just last night, and there's still
no red glow.
I guess that little light of mine is never going to shine.
Nope. And if you don't know what we're talking about, pay $100 a month. 50 goes to Billy, 50 goes to me. We split the pot, and you can be behind the scenes on things that we talk about that you have no idea what we're talking about.
Best inside jokes you've ever heard.
That's right. So, hey, we'll catch you later. Thank you all for being with us this week. Big thank you, as always, to Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home and all of you who stayed with us this week. We'll be back next week celebrating the good here. And
maybe I should start a museum at the funeral home. Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home and Museum.
You should, and an education center too. Just put it all together. Yeah. Have the funeral home.
Samuel Walker Houston Funeral Home, Memorial Museum.
Yeah, just throw it all together, and then but it will have Samuel.
But I don't have a presidential library.
But there's two different people, so it'd be Samuel Walker Houston, Sam Houston. You'd put it up so you'd have both of them in there.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
So Samuel Walker Houston, Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home.
I bet Carrie would love to answer the phone with that.
All right, big thank you to Megan as well. We'll wrap it up. We'll be back next week, friends, and make sure to join us. And we just hope that all of you have a very wonderful and a very, very blessed Easter. As I end every show reminding you this morning, we're not strong enough alone to make it on our own. We need each other. So please provide a word of encouragement, lend a hand of support. Somebody out there needs you. Until then, good morning, Huntsville. So long, and God bless. We'll see you right back on Monday. See you, Billy.
See you.